The gym smells like floor wax and old sweat, and your shoes squeak when you plant your feet at the free throw line. You bounce the ball twice, the way he taught you, and before you shoot, you do the thing you swore you wouldn't do. You look up at the stands. Third row, and seat, by the steel railing. Empty. The blue plastic folded up like a closed mouth. Front row's where I'll be, he said this morning, scraping butter on toast. You won't be able to miss me. I'll be the loud one. He'd worked a double, his eyes pink at the edges, but he'd said it like a promise, and a promise from him still meant something to you then. You sink the free throw. The net snaps. You don't even watch it go in. You're already looking at the empty seat again. Tip-off was at 6. It's 6:20 now, and the seat hasn't moved. Your mom is here, fourth row, holding her coat in her lap because the heater's broken and the gym is cold. She gives you a small wave, a brave one, and you can tell she's already watching the door more than the game. The other kids' dads are easy to spot, big coats, big voices, a wall of them along the top row. One of them yells his son's name so loud it bounces off the rafters, and you feel it in your teeth. You tell yourself he's just parking. The lot's small. He's circling. He's coming. He promised the science fair too, and your 8th birthday, and the time you had the lead in the play and said 2 whole lines. Each time the same words, "I'll be there, kiddo," and each time the same shape of an empty chair. But tonight is different, and you need it to be different, because tonight is the one you've been waiting for all year. Coach put you in the starting 5 for the first time. You're number 11. He doesn't know that yet. You wanted him to find out the way you pictured it, to look up and see his face do the thing it does when he's proud, that crooked half smile. So you keep the secret folded up in your chest, saving it, and you keep looking at the seat. First quarter, you're nervous, your hands are sweating, you throw a pass into the third row. It bounces up the steps and lands 2 seats away from his empty one, and for one stupid second your heart jumps like he might be there to catch it. He isn't. A stranger tosses it back. Halftime. You sit on the bench with a paper cup of warm water, and you count the doors. 2 doors. The far one keeps opening. A dad, a grandma, a kid with a hot dog, and every time it isn't him a little more of you goes quiet. Your mom mouths, "He's coming," but she's checking her phone under her coat now, and her thumb isn't moving. Third quarter, you stop looking for whole minutes at a time, and it almost feels like strength. Then you steal the ball, and your body does it before your brain can stop it. You look up mid-stride, right at the seat. Empty. You lose the ball out of bounds. Coach claps once, hard, and tells you to keep your head in the game. You want to tell him your head is in the game. It's just that your eyes keep going to the one place that hurts. Fourth quarter. 2 minutes left. You're down by 1. The gym is loud now, the kind of loud that presses on you. All those big coats standing up. Coach calls the play for you. He says your number, 11, you're the look, and points. And the only thing you can think, the only thing, is, please let him walk in right now. Right now? Let him see this. You get the ball at the top of the key. The clock is bleeding down. You drive. You stop. You rise up the way he taught you in the driveway under the orange light, 10,000 times. Elbow in, follow through, hold it. The ball leaves your hand, and the whole gym seems to lean with it. It goes in. It actually goes in. The buzzer screams, and everyone is screaming, and your team is climbing on you. And you, buried under all those arms, you turn your head, and you look at the seat. Empty. Still empty. Blue plastic, folded up by the steel railing. You won the game. You won the game, and you have never felt so alone in a room full of people. Your mom reaches you and hugs you too hard, and says, "I'm so proud," and her voice cracks on proud. You ask her, "Did he call?" And she takes a second too long, and that second is the answer. The drive home is quiet. The heater in the car works, at least, and you press your hot face against the cold window. He probably got stuck at work, your mom says, to the windshield. You know how they keep him. You don't say anything. You're learning, right then, in the dark of the back seat, how to not say anything. The trophy is in your lap. It's cheap, gold-painted plastic, a little man frozen mid-shot, and you can't stop touching the seam where the mold didn't line up. He's not home when you get there. The porch light is on for nobody. You leave your shoes by the door and the trophy on the kitchen table where he'll see it, right in the middle, under the light. You lie in bed and you listen for the truck, that cough it makes, that low rattle, and you tell yourself you'll stay awake until you hear it. You hear it at 1 a.m. The engine, the door, the slow, heavy steps that mean he's tired down to the bone. You don't go out. You're 12 and you've decided something, and the thing you've decided is to be asleep. Through the door you hear him stop in the kitchen. A long quiet. The fridge opens and closes. You wait for him to come down the hall, to crack your door, to say your name the way he does, soft. Hey, you up? He doesn't. The springs of the couch sigh. The TV mutters. And that's the night your dad missed the biggest game of your life. He said sorry the next morning, holding the trophy, turning it in his big cracked hands. I'll make the next one, he said. Front row. You won't be able to miss me. You said, okay, because it was easier than the truth, and the truth was that you'd already stopped looking. And here is the thing nobody warns you about. A kid who stops looking up doesn't make a sound. There was no fight, no slammed door. You just quietly, permanently, took your eyes off the stands. He came to a few after that, late, in the back, and you never turned around to check. You taught yourself the gym had no stands. Just the floor, the ball, the squeak, the rim. Safer that way. By high school you barely played, and he barely promised, and the two of you got good at talking about nothing. Gas prices, the weather, his back. He got older the way tired men get older, all at once. The truck finally died, and so, a few years after, did he. Quiet. In his sleep. The way he came home that night. You're 30 when you clean out his place. One room above a hardware store. It doesn't take long. He didn't keep much. There's a coat on a hook, the heavy canvas one he wore to load trucks. And you put it on because the room is cold, and because it's the last warm thing of his. There's something stiff in the inside pocket. Paper, folded into a tight square, soft at the creases from being folded and unfolded 100 times. You open it under the bare bulb. It's a program. A cheap photocopied program from a middle school basketball game, 18 years old. Your name is on the roster, halfway down. And next to it, in pencil, in his small, careful block letters, he'd written your number. 11. Circled. Twice. On the back, in the same pencil, 2 words and a time. Final. 1. He was there. He was there that night. You stand in his cold room holding the paper and you understand it all at once, the whole shape of it. He never sat in the front row. He never could. He came straight from the shift, in this coat, smelling like rubber and diesel, and he stood in the back by the door. He didn't think he had the right to walk down to the front and sit where the clean dad sat. So he stood where he could see you and you couldn't see him. You were looking at the empty seat the whole game. You were looking in the exactly wrong place. He saw the shot. He wrote 1. He folded it up and carried it for 18 years in the pocket over his chest. And he never told you. Maybe because telling you meant admitting he'd stood in the back. Maybe because by then you'd stopped looking and he understood why. You think about the buzzer, the arms, your head turning, your eyes landing on that folded blue seat. And 6 rows up, by the door, a tired man in a canvas coat, watching you win, not making a sound. You sit down on the floor of his empty room and you cry the way you didn't at 12, the way you didn't at the funeral. Not because he wasn't there, because he was, and you spent 18 years sure that he wasn't. You'd built a whole self around an empty chair, and the chair was never the truth. Here's what you'd give anything for, and can't have, 1 second back. Not the shot you've got, on a folded piece of paper, kept warm against his heart for 18 years. You'd give anything for that 1 second after the buzzer, to turn your head the other way. Away from the empty seat, toward the door, to find his face doing the thing it did when he was proud, that crooked half-smile, before he slipped out so you wouldn't see him cry. You put the program back in the pocket, over the chest, where he kept it, and you keep his coat on. You think about your own kid at home, and the games you've sworn you'll never miss, and you finally understand it wasn't ever about the seat. It was about being seen seeing them. He gave you everything but that, and he didn't know how to take it for himself. They fold those bleachers up at the end of every game, all the blue seats clapping shut, row after row, like closing mouths. You spent your whole childhood watching one of them stay empty. You never once thought to look at the back of the room, at the man standing in the doorway in his work coat, who came every time he could and never let you know. He kept his promise. He just kept it where you couldn't see, and you'll be looking at the wrong seat for the rest of your life.